Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, have you been watching Survivor 44? Been following along? This is finals week. And so this week, we're going to see the winner of Survivor 44. It's been uh, quite an adventure, we'll say. And it started out with quite a few injuries. Our first candidate, he split his head open and he ended up uh, being removed for a concussion on that. And then we had another person who did some stupid things and broke his arm. So there were some pretty serious injuries on Survivor, and as you know, I was uh, a contestant, not on the show, but behind the scenes in the selection process. So I didn't make it to Fiji, but that was okay. There were also some other things that probably prevented me from being on the show because if you watch the show, you notice that a lot of times the men are shirtless, and so they just have their trunks on, or pants of some form, and that's it. And once one of the things with my surgery, because of my colon rectal surgery, I have a bag, and so um, that was one of the questions, and probably one of the main reasons why I didn't make the show, um, because I couldn't be shirtless. Period. Otherwise, uh, it's not very pleasant to look at a person's philosophy bag, and then I would have to change it regularly on there, and so that was probably another concern medically, and you know, thinking back, and that could be one of the major reasons why I didn't make the show. Uh, During our interview, they asked me if I had somebody close to me who could be like a loved one. As you saw a couple of episodes ago, they had letters and a video from loved ones back in the stateside, uh, or in some cases, in other episodes, they have a loved one. They fly them out there to the island to encourage them to stay strong and go on. But there's been some great surprises, some personalities that just didn't work with me. They clashed because I know a person just like this, and I'm referring to Carolyn. Carolyn was the blonde hair, blue eyed, uh, uh, ditzy blonde, we'll say, and she played like she was really dumb and really helpless. I was every time in the challenges, she was usually the one most like to scream and cry out uh, because she's getting frustrated, and so. But she played an incredible game if you followed along what she was doing, while she was crazy visually to the other players. She was playing a very smart and calculated game, and she outsmarted a lot of the more gaming players, and that's why they're on the jury now and not in the game. So Carolyn was a big surprise. She's not my favorite, and she never was my favorite from the get go because her personality style and mine clash. I know a person when I first saw Carolyn as a character on the show here. I said, "Oh my God, that reminds me of so and so," and that person, my so and so, is a nutcase, and but she looks like Carolyn, so that's why. And then I have to say, one of my early favorites was the Harry Potter lookalike, Carson. Carson, he's a NASA engineer. So he's really smart, and he's real nerdy. So he didn't look like a threat to anybody. He's not a physical threat to any of the contestants because he's kind of, well, he's a nerd, but he played a good game, and they created an alliance. A person that has surprised me that has lasted this long, but this goes to show that character and personality plays a role. We're talking about our Middle Eastern fella, Jam Jam, and he is such a likable person on the show. It's hard to be mad at him for anything, even when he did stab one person in the back. You couldn't you couldn't be mad at Jam Jam. But it's been a good show, and uh, it was real challenging last week where you're really fighting the fear of drowning. And so this week we have this is a 2 hour show coming up this Wednesday night, and it's going to be a good show because we're going to have an elimination first up. So somebody's going to take an additional seat on the jury, and then the winner of the that challenge gets to pick who's going to be competing for who's able to make fire, and whoever makes fire wins the challenge and finishes off in the top three. And then the top three, uh, as you know, it goes to the jury, and the jury selects the overall winner, and then the winner is announced uh, usually about 2/3 of the way through the show. It's a 2 hour special tomorrow night on Wednesday, so be sure to tune in. I don't know who's gonna be there. Uh, I don't know. Carolyn could be up on the chopping block because now it's every person for themselves, and it's first blood, and it's going to be interesting because now the ruthless backstabbing comes out, and I'm still cheering on Carson. I also like Jam Jam. Uh, my girl Jamie, who was one of my early favorites, she was eliminated last week, uh, and she's the yoga specialist. So we'll see what happens. I still have Carson. He was one of my early picks because, like I said, he looks like Harry Potter, and so he could be pulling out some magic tricks here in the last episodes. So thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back. Join me tomorrow night watching Survivor 44, the finale. Thanks for joining.